You're listening to Empire of Rust, the world's first and only Transformers RPG podcast. Join the heroes of Iacon as they defend Cybertronian civilization from the remnants of Cybertron First to Lord Starscream's egotistical leadership, and beyond to the unknown threats on the other side of distant stars.
Welcome back to Empire of Rust, the one and only Transformers RPG podcast. And we're playing a game today. Isn't that amazing?
It will be.
I actually got a funny story to tell. We, the Transmissions guys and I recorded a stream last night for the Transformers deck building game.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I put it up on Tabletop Sim in order to play it with all these guys because I don't live near any of them, of course. So yeah, we got together, we played that virtually, and it was a really good time. We went through the whole setup process and kind of how to play everything on it. So yeah, it was a great time. It actually should already be out in the Transmissions. On the Transmissions YouTube channel, as well as the Nerdstradamus YouTube channel, because I was joined by Charles and Jeremy from Transmissions, as well as Dr. Pence from Nerdstradamus.
Dr. Pants, you say?
Yep, Doctor.
Is he related to Dr. Pantaloons?
I'll have to ask him next time I see him.
I think there was an episode of The Tick about that, you know? Dinosaur Neo, you know. Nerdstradamus, though, that's oof. Like I'm like it's both rough and brilliant. Like I'm like I don't know if I should love it or hate it. I guess both can happen at the same time.
It just is.
Yep, you can label
Why
it.
not? Or
Sir Pants, what's his name? Sir Pants?
Dr. Pence?
Dr. Pants. No, I didn't mean to strip you of your degree, sir.
Yeah.
Sir. Vassal of Lord Trousers.
Sir, Lord Trousers.
Pants Esquire. You know.
To become Lord Trousers, does he have to be knighted? And if he's knighted, does it cut the belt loops?
Actually, he is on the Transmissions Discord server, and he is Dr. Reginald C. Pence, Esquire.
We don't mean to make light of your name, sir. It's just ridiculous.
In the best possible way.
Hey, if the pants fit.
I knew you were going to make that joke. And I let you.
So yeah, that's what I've been up to, streaming with those guys, and hopefully we'll be able to do it again, or actually do some more relatively soon. Maybe the Transformers trading card game, and we'll even do some of the stream for the expansion for the deck building game when it comes out, and the Decepticon version of the deck building game, which I believe is out in like September, October or so of this year.
What did you think of the game itself?
It is rules heavy, I will put it that way. It's a fun game, but it is a very it's a little bit complicated. It took me a couple of tries to just go through the rule book, be sure I got everything down right before I was confident enough to actually try it live. So, but it's certainly a good game to try out, and I hope to get a chance to play with you guys as well, because I think you'd enjoy it.
Can we play the Decepticon version?
You'll have to wait till later this year, but yeah.
I assume that version allows cheating.
They are Decepticons. If they don't, then who does?
So there's no Decepticons, which is just a bunch of Autobots fighting when you played?
There's Decepticons in the deck to fight against, but not to play as.
Oh, all right.
What about you guys? Have you been playing anything or streaming anything or anything that you'd like to promote while we're doing promotion corner over here?
Well, I'd like to promote Pat to Sergeant General.
I'd second that.
And Adam to Rear Admiral.
So good news is you get a pay bump, but you also have a lot more responsibilities. So
Almost never worth it.
Take it or leave it, guys.
Being a Rear Admiral seems to me like it would be a major pain. Speaking of the card games there and complicated rules and such, I had created a train racing game in the past. That
You created a game?
I did. I've created several, but this is the first one I've actually put out there for the public to see. If you wanted to check it out, I believe it's facebook.com/train racing, all one word. And that has some information about the game itself and a link to where you could buy yourself a copy. Fair warning, it's expensive because it's a one-off printing. So I'm not sure what the pricing is right now because it's been a few years since I've done anything with it. But basically it's a card building game. So you draw cards, you play cards that end up becoming the track that you're racing on. You're trying to beat out your competitor trains there, the other players. And the more players there are, the longer the track is. Along the way, you're building the track as you go. So you're racing to get it built before you actually get there. And then you're also add cars to your train, which pick up certain types of cargo. There's animal, livestock, there's people, there's machines, all that kind of stuff. And you get more points for the cargo as you drop them off at other places along the way. It sounds fairly complicated, but once you get into it, it's fairly easy.
I believe I played it when you brought it over for a game day at my place a while back, and it was pretty fun. It was
I played it. It's a blast. Yeah.
Certainly an enjoyable time. It does take a while to kind of like play through, especially with more people. So, just be aware. It's more of a meaty game than it is like a casual game.
Yep.
So.
Especially the first time when you're getting used to it.
Well, that's cool, though. I certainly haven't published any card games.
Hey, you published an RPG or two.
Just one. just one. I'd love to take credit for more, but just one. Pat, what about you? Doing anything fun?
I don't tend to listen to that kind of stuff. I haven't published any games, though. I have a campaign setting that I've been working on for over 20 years, but it's never out on paper. I have a couple of friends that do streams, that kind of Twitch stuff, but that's really about it. My friend Mike.
A different Mike than me, of course.
A different Mike, third Mike, or he was my first Mike, so this is a college friend, but he's BME Mike is his Twitch channel, and he just kind of does stuff like Minecraft. He does Minecraft, and occasionally he'll go through something like Horizon Zero Dawn or something like that. He's basically a scrub, and he says that, he's just he's like, don't throw money at me. He's like, I don't need it. He's like, other people are more deserving, but he's like, but if you like what I do, come and watch. That's about where he's at.
Refreshingly honest.
Yeah. No, Mike is a clear-cut kind of guy. That's something I admire very much about him. And then my friend Erin has one that's called Stranded on Earth 13, and she's based in Japan, and she's an artist. But she does a lot of art, but she also does video game playthroughs. I think she went through Phantasmagoria, and I think she's going through Resident Evil 2 remake or something right now. But it's good. She's different time zone though, so it's I often don't get to watch hers because it's in the middle of the day for me, or the middle of the night for me. But
right.
Now that I think about it, the link for her actual comic book page is strandedonearth.com. So that's probably where you'd see the focus of her activities at this point.
But those are really the only two. There's a couple of people that I don't know. I watch a lot of Mario Maker 2 videos. So there's Carl Sagan 42 and DGR and Geek, and there's a very small community, but they're very passionate and they kind of interact with each other. But that's about it. That's really the only stuff that I ever really come across.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, with all the shameless plugs and self-promotion out of the way, let's get back into our game, right?
Yes.
I didn't say they were shameless. Yes. I have a little bit of shame.
I'm definitely ashamed of you.
Life goal achieved.
Is shame the same thing as disgust?
No, it actually isn't.
Cool.
And yes, you can have both toward me.
All right, well, when last we left, you guys had just finished up a fight against the greaser bots. You're covered in grease now, slipping and sliding all over the place. And you put a Magnum hat on one of the survivors that you didn't beat up to death. Sorry, Magnum, you are now covered in grease too. It's like all inside and everything. It's kind of gross. But yeah, you saw the attack on Chromia and Windblade through his eyes, and it pretty much confirms what Chromia and Windblade were saying. It didn't give you a ton of new information, but you can see the exact location where the attack took place. So, walk me through. What's the next step for you guys? What do you want to do here?
I want to go up to the spot where the shot was taken and actually use some senses to see if I can figure out some more stuff.
Makes sense.
Because I believe he pointed out and he was like, "Oh yeah, look, the blip came from over there." And then didn't we see a like the outline? Like, you know, it's like we have video of not being able to see them. You know, like the kind of predator blur. Obviously, it's probably better than that, but
yep.
Yeah, we're going to investigate the area because the person was actually invisible, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
It wasn't just perceptive.
All right, well, you can easily make it over to the actual site of the attack. It's just across the street there. Whomever wants to, go ahead and give me a physical science check.
Can I transform into my beetle form, activate my senses, and use survival instead?
You absolutely can.
Yay.
Yay! Survival for the win.
Where am I? Oh, I'm good at this. I have a 21, but that doesn't take into account any scent stuff.
Any scent stuff?
Like, I can smell things. I've scent as a class feature, like a dog or bloodhound. So, like, if it's like,
you do?
Yeah, when I'm in my beetle form, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is no one going to comment about that? Carapace just basically turned into a ginormous bug.
I think he's done that before, though.
Yeah, but not in front of me, has he?
I suppose not.
Well, I guess that's your problem, isn't it?
I'm really not sure.
Big bug? Is this the big bug tank or the little bug?
I don't think I can get small.
Okay.
I don't have a mass shift. But like what I do like I do is so when I'm in the tank mode, I'm like the six-legged, kind of tank. But then when I turn into a bug, it's like I flip over onto my back and my legs switch. So like my belly becomes my back, like like that sort of thing.
All right, that'll scar someone watching that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I might need counseling now.
We should go off and find it.
I know a really great place off-world.
I'm pushing my buttons on my fidget button machine.
I'm pretty certain you left that on the ship.
Did I know?
No.
There's a reason you got trapped in an elevator.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have to attach it to me with a chain or something.
I get a 21 for physical science, by the way.
21 physical science and 21 on survival. All right.
Yup.
That was a pretty low roll for you, Matt. Jesus.
Yeah, I rolled a 2.
Oof. Wow.
And I got, thankfully, a +4 with an assist, but only goes so far.
Yeah. Here is what I'll give you. I'm going to start off with the physical science. So first thing is you notice a few scuff marks on the ground. And with Carapace's help, you can make the determination that these are the tracks of two people fighting. So it tracks with that track, See what I did? It's a joke. You can laugh. It's fine.
Don't be too proud.
But yeah, so you can certainly confirm that there were two people like fighting over here, and this is where it was happening. Now, against the wall, a few feet back, you'll find a couple of drops of melted metal. And as you are kind of scanning around and examining, you can also pick up some trace amounts of photonic particles in the area.
Is that a consequence of the Infernus bullets? Like when they fire, they must have like a shell that comes out to, or is it not a shell? Is it just like an energy, like magnetic thing?
I'll actually let you do a separate physical science for that one because you're asking kind of two separate questions on it.
Me or Magnum?
Whomever wants to.
I can do it. But let's go. How about we go with this first one though that I found? Why don't you finish with what we've discovered with the first check?
Sure. Yep.
Unless we need this for the.
Nope. And so you get, like I said, you find the melted drops of metal on the ground and the trace amounts of photonic particles. With Carapace's help, you can start to track kind of like this scent. And not just the scent as well, but you're also tracking very, very faint kind of footsteps away from the scene of the attack. They are very faint, and you're picking them up very, very lightly because it's just light steps likely. And the scent and the smell is helping you do this, so you can track this as it leads you away from the site. You're about 5 feet away, and do you want to continue tracking it?
I'll indicate to them to be like, hey, I could smell something this way. In order to make that second roll that I just asked about, does that have to happen here, or...?
No, it's just for someone with the knowledge behind it to determine if they're related or not.
Okay.
That's all.
Is there anything else to find here, I guess?
You think the tracks leading away is probably the best thing you want to go for. Like I said, you did find the trace elements of photonic particles in the air, and then the melted metal drops on the ground. You can quite easily determine that these were likely melted pieces of Chromia's insides as the bullet passed through her and kind of splattered outwards.
Okay, I choose to go follow this path out into the
Oh, jeez. Not even February, man.
Hold on there, Carapace. I'll go with you. I can help you out there.
I got a 28 for the physical science, by the way.
He didn't choose you.
No one ever chooses me.
For that one, Magnum, with a 28, you can tell that the photonic particles and the melted drops on the ground are two distinct things. The photonic particles are likely from a cloaking generator of some kind, and the melted pieces are specifically from the Infernus bullet.
All right, so the cloaking generator generates that. A trail. Convenient. Mm-hmm. Not for the person who owns it, but
only because you're so good, and you had a lot of help from Carapace.
Yeah, and a big nose. Has his big, what is it? Rhino beetle nose, or is it Goliath beetle?
Technically, I don't think I'm either. Like, I don't have like an attack. Ironically, while I'm a beetle, other than like the guns that are on me.
So you could have a decoration, though. I mean,
give him the horn, man.
I guess the question is, how horny are you?
I never really have been.
Giggity.
I never had that upgrade.
Yeah, I don't see myself as like a rhino one. I see maybe like the ones with just the pincers in the front, even though it's not a biteable one. It's just cosmetic.
See, a lot of those for bugs are show too.
Yeah.
All right. Sniff away my beetly companion.
I mean, I am large doing that. So like, I'm like a big ass fucking bug, so.
I want you to I want all of you to take the journey on this one. I want you to imagine an enormous, like 20-foot wide bug Just or a 10-foot wide bug like wandering down the street.
Singing, humming A Hard Day's Night slightly to himself.
Do you need me to make a check? Survival or...
I will in just a moment, but you can easily track it the first... I'll say the first 50 feet or so, no problem. And go ahead and make me a survival check to see if you can keep the scent.
Survival.
Because as you get further away from the site of the attack, the scent is a little bit fainter and the tracks are lighter.
Yep. So I have a 19, but that doesn't take anything into account for the scent ability, which honestly I don't even really know how that works in Starfinder.
I will let it you be able to track it, because I believe you can if with the scent ability you can track which direction your target is within 5 or 10 feet or so. I think it's very similar to Pathfinder. All right, so you keep on going and you get another 50 feet or so you're 100 feet away from the site of the attack. Give me another one. See if you can keep the scent here.
That is another 19.
19. You think you just barely did it. You were kind of sniffing around side to side over here, and it's oh, I don't know. Did I lose it? Did I get it? And I'm oh, okay. Whew, I got it. Can't look like a fool in front of my friends here.
Don't worry, people. He always has to take some time to decide. You know how they are when you go out for walkies.
Yeah, another 50 feet, and give me one more.
It can be in here.
Okay, cool. This one's actually a lot better. So this is a 29.
Ooh.
That's without her aid.
And what about with her aid?
25.
That would be a 26 for the survival roll from Denizen. For the tracking.
Plus 4, so that's...
33.
Yeah, 33.
All right. Easy enough. So the last 50 feet ends in what looks like a power booth. A power booth is effectively just a public recharge booth.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a phone booth kind of thing. Like that kind of size.
It doesn't have a door. Phone booths have doors.
Yep. It would have a door, and it is swung shut.
Are you alive?
High or low, good for you.
Yes.
No, it's okay. No, it's not alive. It's not alive.
Okay. That'd be a very popular Transformer. You're a fucking power booth? Yeah, I am. Okay. Be my personal assistant. Just keep me going all day.
All day, every day, sir.
I got Magnum has to learn ventriloquism when he starts asking those things. Yes! No, I'm not.
Take a rank and perform on your next level. Perform ventriloquism.
Worth it.
Totally. All right, so yeah, you guys can track the scent and the faint footprints to this power booth. What do you want to do?
You think we should knock?
Does the doorknob thing say occupied?
Nope.
Does it have a thing that would say occupied if it did?
Also no.
We want to make sure I check our assumptions here.
It looks like a porta potty.
Okay, can we open the door, please?
Sure.
Are there two guys from San Dimas inside?
Who wants to do it?
I'll do it.
All right.
Let me in. Knock, knock. Hello.
Getting ready.
Okay, Magnum, you go to the door, gun drawn, pop the door open, and it's empty.
Blam.
All right.
He's invisible, isn't he? Punch. Just in case.
Give me an attack roll.
All right. Yeah.
If there's an invisible corpse, I'm going to be very upset.
Not with my attacks.
Would you be less upset if the corpse were visible?
Yes.
The corpse you can see is better than the one you can't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got a 12. I don't think I can hit a visible corpse.
You swing your fist into the power booth, and you hit the wall.
I push him in, and I lock the door from the outside.
Well, you push him in, but there's no outside lock. There's an inside lock.
Well, then I'll lean against the door, so I can't get out.
Magnum,
Magnum.
You just got pushed from behind. You are inside the booth. You try to open the door, and there's something heavy on the other side.
Check out the booth.
I'm going to investigate inside the room since I'm here anyway.
You're contaminating the scene. Come on.
Well, if anyone can figure out if there's like a secret passage or a wee elevator in there, it's Magnum. He'll figure it out.
Yeah, and he can do that with the door open and you not being on it. Scat.
Sure he can, but now he's kind of motivated, isn't he?
I'm gonna punch you if you don't move. And then you will move.
Seismic punch.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I got a 31
3,
perception.
2, 1. Okay. Roll initiative.
Guys, wait your turn. Come on. I'll be done soon.
Well, are we doing this or not?
Sure we can.
Okay. So what's my initiative? 19.
Just roll your dice, add your initiative. You know what it is.
20.01. All right. I've already gone, so you can have at it.
Okie dokie. Seismic punch. Oh, wussy. That's a solid miss. That's a miss. Rolled a 2.
Stand in front of the door. I'll cross my arms. Well, are you going to start something or just talk about it?
Okay. See, I was going to do minimum damage. And now? Nope.
Do I have to roll initiative to do my perception check?
Actually,
it's dumb. I know.
Actually, since we are in combat rounds, why don't you go ahead and roll initiative? You too, Wild Strike, just in case you want to do anything.
Yeah, sure.
We'll say those two got the surprise round going on. Magnum, you hear a big thunk against the door, and the entire booth shakes.
Cut it out, guys. I'm investigating here.
What'd you get, Magnum?
I got an 18.02.
And Wild Strike, what about you?
18.06.
Nice. That's fitting. Really it is. You should not be going before me. After me, I mean. You should not be going after me.
So if I recall the order right on this one, it's Denizen, Carapace, Wild Strike, and Magnum.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Denizen, you're there, and what do you want to do?
Well, I appear to be just standing against the door with my arms crossed. Now I'll put one foot up against the door, leaning on it.
Captain Morgan pose?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Carapace. She's just standing there.
Yep. This time I have a 27.
I suppose that would hit me.
Okay. Then I will do non-lethal damage. Well, I guess, do we even have that in this? Like, I'm not trying to kill her.
There's non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
There is? Okay.
Yeah.
Then I do 20 points of non-lethal damage, and you are moved back 25 feet.
Actually, you go through the illusion and you hit the booth.
I'm not aiming through. Are you an idiot? Come on. I'm not going to punch you through the door. I'm trying to move you to the side. Okay.
Fine.
Sure.
The hit reveals that it was an illusion standing against the door.
Okie dokie. Good.
I had sent a note on the roll 20 before initiative was rolled, where you were counting down and cast my spell or power.
Sure. Right.
Yep. I see
Okay,
it. It just says cast, but
I believe you. I mean, I probably would have noticed that, but that's okay. That's what mysticism's for, right? Noticing things like spellcasting.
I think so.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
good.
The result is what I wanted. You're not there anymore.
True.
Wild Strike, it looks like Carapace just punched Denizen into nothing. What do you want to do?
the illusion disappears. It's still there.
The illusion disappears, but I'm still invisible.
But you're invisible. Okay. What did you just do?
She just did the little trick that she showed us just a little while ago, that she can actually turn invisible and leave like an echo behind or something.
Oh yeah, she has done that before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Handy.
I thought you just
Actually,
destroyed her.
Wildstrike, you're the one who tested it out for me.
Yeah, you flew through her, and almost crashed into.
Yeah, but it's different when you see it actually happen in front of you,
right,
and not like hitting her.
Truth.
Did you atomize her?
Right. Okay. Huh.
Like,
Denizen, you around?
Oh, I wish.
I'll say yeah.
Everything
Faith
good now?
and be gone.
You too?
I'm talking to a ghost.
You guys work everything out?
Yeah, we're just having a bit of fun there, Wildstrike. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about you.
That was fairly specific.
All right, Magnum's been waiting long enough to do his perception check.
Yeah.
I'm taking side of combat rounds too, so Magnum, show is yours. Perception check, 31 you said?
31.
31, all right. The place looks completely empty. There is absolutely nothing worth noting in this entire place. However, what you can do is you can take a look at the equipment here and see if there is any clues left behind. So go ahead and give me either an engineering or computers check, whichever you prefer.
I'll do computers to start out. I think Magnum will change into his hat form.
Hat Magnum.
Hat Magnum.
Mag hat. Mag hat. Like I said, you need a theme song. I'm working on it, don't worry.
I look forward to the results.
Oh, don't. I'm a horrible singer.
Just the facts, ma'am.
It's just that on a sound clip repeating. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the
there
facts,
could be a
ma'am.
remix of that. That'd be amazing.
I said, wiki, just the facts, ma'am.
I think that's my new ringtone. Wiki. I have no idea what I was doing.
Computers check.
All right. So I got a 27 for the computers check. DC for all other uses of computers are reduced by 5.
Well, with the 32, you can hack into the equipment here. It is very basic equipment. It's effective, like I said, just like a charging station, but it does keep records of how much energy is put out every time something is hooked up to it, or if nothing is hooked up to it. So you can determine from that a device that drew a lot of power, like a significant amount of power, was connected approximately 5 days ago. And then after that, very, very briefly after that, all of a sudden, there's no logs, there's no records. It's almost like the whole thing was just like went dead for a while.
With that much power drain put it out of commission?
Putting two and two together, you think that the EMP device that knocked out the equipment in this area, like the security cameras and all the video feeds, was likely powered here first, and then when it went off, it killed the generator.
I see. So it was I'm trying to remind me. Was the attack 5 days ago?
Yes.
So we probably backtracked then. We didn't follow that. We didn't follow the attacker. We backtracked it. Do you think that's likely?
No, we're almost certainly reviewing the crime. Like
this happened before the crime.
Yes.
I thought we were maybe following where the perp went. But this is backwards.
So yes. Yep. I think we were backtracking it. Yep.
Okay.
So far, you have kind of figured that someone was in here, and in Carapace, you still do get the scent of like the photonic particles and the kind of unique scent from the Infernus bullet as you are kind of sniffing around. So, kind of putting two together, you're gonna figure like, okay, the EMP was set off here, and the whoever did this probably was in here for a brief time, and then started making their way towards Chromia and Windblade to do the attack, likely probably right after the EMP was set off. And you would imagine that if this person is actually setting off an EMP in the area, they likely have some kind of shielding or something to prevent it from affecting them.
Do EMPs affect us?
I think they stun us, I think.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Not in the same way they would for, like, you know, human technology, but...
If they're strong enough, I think they can, depending on how it's made. I think Scientist has a grenade that can do EMPs, which
That's
I think does a stun or something like that, or paralyze, something like that.
Okay.
But they're pretty beefy, so...
Yeah.
Do people have to pay to use this booth?
Credit card.
Nope. It's pretty much just a free use power booth.
Can I do an engineering check to get a power signature of... the thing is, it was a device. They look like they charged the gizmo and not themselves.
That still might be a clue.
Yeah, I might as well. I mean, can I try to get a power signature?
I expect EMP devices aren't all that popular in, you know, your regular run-of-the-mill Cybertronics store.
That's a good thing, too. We should trace that. Good idea. And we can't track it any further? The scent doesn't go anywhere else?
Nope. It kind of right
so
here.
we're at the place where the shooting happened, like where the sniper was. So what we probably need to do is now go down to the street and find out where the physical attack was, and then possibly find a new scent from there. But one idea that I just had regarding the EMP is that EMPs, based upon how much energy was drawn, you could probably find out like the effective caliber or like the strength of the EMP, knowing what its blast radius was. And then once you can discern that, we can be like, oh, let's see if there's any cameras that are like 20 feet outside of that, and then maybe you caught something in a cursory area around it that's like just outside of the blast radius.
That's brilliant.
Just as a...
All right. So why don't Matt Pythagoras will go try to investigate the radius, if he can, determine it, and do exactly what he said. And why don't you go back and see if you can find a different trail from the crime scene that leads when they left as opposed to when they got there.
Can do.
Sound reasonable to everyone?
Sure. I'm visible again, by the way.
That's a shame.
And there was much rejoicing.
Let's start off with Magnum. Give me an engineering check. See if you can make some determinations here.
31 engineering, please.
You can determine that the effective radius was probably about 300 feet or so, which would put it, the outer limit of that, about 100 feet past the site of the attack. So not a long way, but still.
So look for cameras or anything like that outside that radius, and pry them open.
All right. I will come back to you on that one because that's going to take a few minutes for you to walk back and start looking at stuff, and then climbing up on the wall and start breaking the cameras down.
Why do I feel like Ghostbusters 2 when they're digging in the middle of the street?
Boss! I love that. Like the smart character's like, I know I can't do this sort of skill. Okay, hey, the person with the high bluff skill, please come and talk.
He's smart enough to know his limits.
Yeah, that's the aid another right there, man. That's
all right. Carapace, go ahead and give me a survival, and Denizen, if you are aiding, also give me a survival.
Denizen has rolled a 26 for her initial survival.
I only rolled a 15. I rolled pretty abysmal for that one, so I had difficulty finding the scent.
You certainly did.
Mm-hmm.
You do eventually pick it up, but it does feel kind of muddled, and you're thinking that all of like the traffic and everything, and all the people who have come by in the last couple of days has probably obscured the scent a little bit, and all of the grease from those other guys. Oof. That's like all you're getting in your sensor there.
Okay, I'll do like that. You know,
the one nose.
And I'll try it again, and this time I rolled a 33.
Denizen rolled a 25 to aid you.
So that is a 37.
Right, you can get this, Carapace. Trust me. I know how muddled scents go. Came from Earth. You know how smelly humans are.
God, I can only imagine. And that I truly sympathize. Sincerely.
With that, you can track it over to the past the little bar, kind of like little like diner that the greasers came out of. It's still overwhelming your sense, though. It's like, oh, so greasy.
Right.
But you do sense it kind of getting past that out onto the street. Go ahead and give me one more.
Then that is a 26.
I got the 24 to aid.
So, flat 30.
All right. The scent stops at the intersection, and looking around, you can see that this is a stop for one of the few stops for like the Cybertronian like mass transit system. So it smells like whoever did this got onto a bus or a train of some kind.
Damn! If only we knew a bus.
I was just thinking that. Is this area within 100 feet of, like, is it still within the blast area, the EMP area?
It is still within it, but it's getting awfully close to the edge. You're probably like good 70 feet from the site of the attack.
Okay, I'll send a message to Magnum saying, like, hey, they probably got onto some sort of public transport here, so finding something in the public transport area that's outside of the radius would probably be the best place to find it.
While he's giving that message out, I'll be scraping the grease from the other fella off of my body on the corner of the building, like a bear scratching its back.
Squidge, squidge, squidge.
Yep. Well, do you want to do anything while all this is going on? I know tracking's not really your thing.
Yeah, I can't really track anything. I'll just follow along. Keep an eye out in case somebody's trying to follow us or somebody's trying to ambush us while we're investigating.
Is it me, Wild Strike, or is that building over there giving us a dirty look?
No, it isn't.
Nose
And
first.
it's talking.
No, please, I have a family.
So, it's not only looking funny at us, it's mouthing off, is it?
Yes.
3 little huts at home.
Nico will come up to you and says, "So, hey boss, is this kind of what you guys do? Like, is this like a typical day for you, or like what's going on? Is this
No, not really typical. Usually we don't go around looking for clues.
More like trying to cover up our own.
Actually, that's an interesting question. Is it Nico or Nico?
I've envisioned it Nico, but
Yeah, I was
everyone's
saying-
been calling him Nico. So
Like, Nico was like a bureaucrat. Like, does he have computer hacking skills? Like, would he know, like, oh, wait, this is a transportation system. Like, this is what I got my dissertation in.
I
Yeah.
don't know. You're gonna have to ask Wildstrike. He statted him out.
He has some computer skills.
That would be a no.
I could have him roll.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of, like, I don't know anything about him. So, like, it's a...
24.
Oh. Okay. I think that's
right.
better than I can possibly roll. That is
Nicole?
the best I could possibly roll.
And he calls that some computer skills.
I know, right?
What do you want to do with that computer skill anyway? What are you trying to accomplish? And I'll come back to you in a second there, Matt.
I don't know. Pat suggested it.
I was gonna say, let's find out what the schedule is at that time of the day. Like, maybe there'll be like, oh, there's actually only 2 buses and 1 train that were in the station at that time.
Right.
And that
And where would they go? What are their
Look into
stops?
the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. I'm cool with that. I will come back to that in just a moment, but I've promised Matt his time in the sun.
No, that's all right. Don't worry about me.
All right, so
Ripping apart cameras. But I will concentrate on that area since that's what they found. So,
All right. Give me a... let's do engineering this time. Engineering. Pythagoras is going to do some engineering. Magnum's going to help him. But he rolled too low, so he gets nothing.
28.
So yeah, you find a camera that is outside the blast radius, and you hack in and take a look at the footage.
Try to get the right time code for when the person would have gone through.
Yeah. So it does take you a while to kind of like search through it, and you think this is probably the only camera that's picking up anything on this. All of the other ones are within the blast radius, unfortunately, and the angle is not great. But what you can see is the camera is kind of like on the opposite side of where the door is, but you do see right around like where that time is, right at that time code, you see 2 bots coming in. You see the silhouette of like 2 bots as they kind of walk through the bus. You can't make out any details, but you definitely see 2 of them.
How big are they?
One looks to be medium-sized, one looks to be small. Maybe even Pythagoras-sized.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. I will share the information.
Okay. All right, so you guys think you have kind of figured out everything that you are gonna from the site of the attack. You already talked with Windblade and Chromia and investigated the attack site. So what's the next step for this? Walk me through it.
I'm gonna look for see whose deals in this kind of equipment. Do a search for who might be selling EMP generators of this this category of this caliber. And
I think that I'm going to go and try talking to Lord Scourge, because I know he's been wanting to talk to me anyway. And while I don't think that, from my understanding of his reputation and my experiences with him, he's much more of a hands-on kind of person, so he probably didn't hire invisible assassins to kill somebody. He just do it himself. But maybe he knows something that we don't know. Like, oh, wait, yeah, 3 other people I know were killed by Infernus bullets. And it's like, oh, okay, so let's find out that.
Or maybe he got attacked. He just hasn't mentioned it. Yeah, they attacked me and I hate them,
Yeah,
so.
That's what it's like. Oh, yeah, those things fucking sting. I'm gonna burn my rotator cuff from one of those things.
And now the big question are all of you going with Carapace, or are we splitting the party?
I don't have any reason not to go with him. So, unless he wants to meet alone.
I don't know. I mean, this does feel kind of like a let's go each talk to a person, multitasking thing, which is obviously I know a logistical nightmare as far as a recording, but.
Well, I've got Damascus down in my notes. Why do I have that? Was he one of our suspects?
Yeah, Windblade had mentioned that she didn't want to talk. She didn't want to share her concerns about Starscream with Damascus.
Oh.
But I don't think any of you followed up with her as to why.
Okay, how about Wildstrike? Do you actually want to talk to Starscream?
Yeah, I could talk to him.
Okay.
I got some questions for him. But he's not going to tell us anything that we want to find out.
Right, but that's not why we talk to people always.
I'm just letting you know, don't get any hopes up.
Right. I'm guessing that, so we should send Denizen to go talk to Damascus, because we don't actually want to have allies. But who knows? Maybe they both begin with the letter D. Like that's some sort of connection.
They can bond.
Bond over the D.
Right? Like you guys both have a thing for Megatron and both hate Starscream. It's like
what?
That's.
Did she?
I bet you should go find out.
Oh, I'm talking to her now. That's it.
Oh my god.
Nicely done. This is emergent storytelling, people. Come on.
All right, we're going to meet up at some bar later, right? Is that usually the way things go?
Yeah, let's go talk to
Yeah, there you go.
and meet up at Rebar if we can't find anything.
All right, meeting at
He's gonna be thrilled to see us again.
meeting at Rebar's place, and when we're all done with our chats,
Yes.
and I'll be off.
Carapace is going to talk to Lord Scourge. Wildstrike is going to talk to Starscream. Denizen is going to talk to Damascus. And what is Magnum Pythagoras doing?
Where I'm going to do a tech search for the MP device and see who might be selling one, and if I can find out who might be selling it, try to track down if anyone's bought one recently and who that might be.
Sounds good to me. All right, so I think we're probably going to have to move this until like the next day, in order to be sure everyone can kind of get to where they're going. And we'll start off with you, Carapace. So you are going to head on over to roughly where the Yukaran like embassy would be for Cybertron, and as you're approaching, you can see that there's a lot of like nature that was imported from Eucharis.
Is it a park with a fighting pit? The embassy.
Yep. All circled, like, there's caves all around the fighting pit, and those are like the offices and the buildings of the embassy. But yeah, it looks like they imported like a good amount of greenery and like soil and like actual parts of the forest in like through the space bridge in order to like make this a more suitable place for your car and some place that they'd feel more at home.
I approve.
There's a couple of like really large trees kind of off to this like spread throughout the park where flyers could kind of roost. There are like subterranean sections down there that were like dug down like under the soil to kind of recreate like the dens of like burrowing animals. It's not covered in dirt; it's still metal because they had to dig down into the substrate. But they're there, and it simulates it a little bit. And then of course there are just like I said caves. There's like little like open areas of grass, plenty of room to run around and to move. And there's even, you have no idea how they did this. This must have been an enormous undertaking. But they managed to hollow out a large chunk off to the side for an artificial lake and rivers that kind of like flow through it. And as you're looking through, you even see like the rivers themselves actually have motion to them, so you think like water is like pumping through the area.
Wow.
All in all, it's really even by human standards, it'd be a really beautiful place, but it is incredibly unusual and alien looking for Cybertronians.
Nice.
Did they actually import dirt?
They imported dirt, water, trees, some rocks, I imagine too, just add some variety in there.
They saved the shipping costs by shipping the water and the dirt together, just as mud.
And then they drain the mud.
Is there much water on Cybertron?
Oh, no.
Like there are no oceans or...
Nope. The closest thing would have been like the old Rust Sea, which is not really an ocean, but just like a perpetual storm of like rusting agents like throughout like one of the hemispheres of the planet.
So like just like pure oxygen.
Yeah. There are energon rivers and energon pools like throughout the planet, but nothing the scale of like an ocean.
But I mean, like, can you like go swimming in an energon pool, or is that like being like a vampire?
No, if you can, it'd just feel really good,
Okay.
You'd feel energized. Don't forget, energon is food, power, money, ammo. It's pretty much everything.
So it's like the SNE, What's this,
I don't know what that
the
is.
SNE? It's the Dr. Seuss book where it's just like, oh, this thing can become a sock, can become a tree, can become a car.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yep.
It's like, it's UPB currency,
Yep.
Okay. I go to the place. There's no such thing as making an appointment, so I just...
Not for you, Karns.
Yep, I just go and go.
You get to the embassy area. I imagine you want to head up to the fighting pit first, kind of just look around, see who's around. He's not visible immediately, but you'll kind of find a couple of Yukarans hanging around, ask if you've seen Lord Scourge anywhere, or if they've seen Lord Scourge anywhere, and they will point him out. And yeah, you can find him with no problems.
Hey, you eat any good books lately?
Well. Look who finally crawled out of the forest.
And Lord Scourge of the Scalewalkers of Yukaris walks up to you, Carapace, rears his arm back, and boom, comes in, aims right for the gut. Give me initiative.
That's unfortunate. I rolled a natural 1, so I have a 7.
Well,
Watch this be like an actual traditional greeting, and the harder you punch, the more respect you're actually giving the person. And then when he does his seismic punch, Lord Scourge is going to be very complimented.
Scourge got a 28, so he's going first.
Yep.
All right, Carapace, punch is coming right up to your gut. I actually got to roll to hit you, don't I? That was just initiative. Ooh, that is almost a crit. That's a 35.
And he just hit me.
All right. Well, let's roll up some damage here. And we got to add this one in here. There we go. All right. That is going to be 8, 17, 19, 21, and 26. That's 26 points of bludgeoning damage coming at you.
Okay.
All right. It's to you. What are you gonna do?
What is he like? What is his form? I want to say like the equivalent of like, oh, you son of a gun, but since I know he's actually a creature, I can actually reference the proper thing.
You monkey's uncle.
Yeah.
Son of a salamander.
Yeah.
You would know this. You know all about Scourge. He is a 3-headed dragon.
Oh,
A flightless 3-headed dragon. So he's kind of like a Cerberus, but a dragon form Cerberus.
Okay.
Dragarus.
Like your mother.
That also means he likes to dress in,
His
alternative
woman's clothes.
clothing.
Your mother was a lizard. Okay.
Very forward thinking. There's nothing wrong with that.
An equivalent seismic punch, just because, no love lost amongst friends. Okay. I hope this is enough to hit him.
Just because he isn't a dragon doesn't mean he's not open-minded,
Right. He's multi-minded, actually. That is a 30.
Well,
Probably it's not enough to hit him, honestly.
your fist comes in, impacts his stomach, kind of right at the solar plexus, right there. Does nothing. He just takes the punch.
So I do not hit.
Right, it's a miss, technically. But it was really close, though, to be fair.
I probably can't hit him then.
He'll look you straight in the eye.
Well met, Carapace.
I'm gonna get you next time, man.
Just let me gain a few levels,
I'm gonna get you next time.
He reaches out his arm to grasp your hand, like in a warrior's handshake.
Silly salamander, you.
Damn it.
Well met.
And he will.
Glad I didn't go with him because I'd be in the stratosphere,
He'll kind of like gesture for you to kind of like follow along and just walk with him, and he'll because there are some people around because he is running for president, ruler of Cybertron. So before you got there, he was kind of like talking, campaigning a bit, trying to show prove that he is the strongest there is.
He's a badass,
Oh yeah,
and so just
absolutely.
I rolled an 18 for that.
Ooh, yeah.
So like
you would have had a nat 20 for right now, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like I probably can't hit him.
He's a beefy guy,
Nope.
Well, so yeah, he'll gesture for you to kind of follow along with him, and the two of you will take a walk.
Okay.
I heard what happened to your companion, Sweet Spot. You may find this strange, but I respected him as an opponent. Not as a warrior. Primus knows the bot couldn't take a punch. But as a fellow candidate, he could speak to anyone and make them feel as strong as a prime.
He was canny. You know, as you're well aware, not all forms of strength are physical.
Very wise words. So, tell me, Carapace, who are you going to support now? You know what the Fate Weavers say, that one day you'll hold the destiny of Cybertron in your hands. Maybe that time has come and gone. Or maybe you are living it right now. Who you choose to support says as much about them as it does about you.
Well, I've made no secret how I feel about the Fate Weaver's prophecies. I tend to assume that we make our own.
And with that, he kind of gives you a bit of like a sideways look. And you do know that the Fate Weavers do have a I don't want to say stranglehold, but they have a very prominent cult, and they're very well respected on Yukaris.
Oh, totally, yeah. I'm definitely. It's atypical that I believe that what I believe. Yeah,
exactly. For those listeners who don't know or are not familiar with it, the Fate Weavers are effectively a spider clan on Yukaris that they're semi-mystical, and they have they tell the future. They tell fortunes. Whether they're accurate or not is up for debate, but that's their deal.
Spider Clan does whatever the Spider Clan do.
Carapace, I'm only going to say this once. I respect your strength as a warrior. Your prowess on the battlefield is impressive. But you have entered an arena where your physical strength will not help. You are involved with the ruling powers of Cybertron and the Council of Worlds that has helped expand our influence to the stars. And, if the rumors are to be believed, you've even gotten your claws on an artifact of the Primes. You are a nobody. You didn't rule a tribe. You weren't the strongest in the land, but here you are, talking with not one, but many of the potential rulers of the planet. Yet, you still fight against the idea of fate. I am hardly a believer in the Fate Weaver's webs. But even you must realize that it appears to have a kernel of truth. I've fought my whole life to get where I am. And if I had even a fraction of your luck, I'd be ruling this planet already. You are being presented with an opportunity that few ever receive. A chance to bend the wheels of fate in your own direction. If the Weavers say you have a destiny, then grasp it. Make it your destiny. Do what you will and call it fate. What are they going to say? That you've done the prophecy wrong?
And with that, we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Good speech.
From the Secret Files of Teletran 1, Empire of Rust is written and GM'd by Michael Ordway. Headmaster Magnum and his partner Pythagoras are played by Matthew G. Denizen, the mysterious druid, is played by Adam H.U. The Decepticon warrior Wildstrike and his partner Nyko are played by Mike M. And Carapace, the beast soldier of primitive Yukaris, is played by Patrick Finn. Additional characters are played by Michael and Cassandra Ordway. Empire of Rust is supported by the humans and networks of planet Earth, whose online networks provide access to libraries of sound effects and music, such as Storyblocks, Sasplat, Blue Zone, and Dark Fantasy Studios. We are distributed by the Transmissions Podcast Network. Stay up to date with all the latest news and reviews in the world of the Transformers by going to transmissionspodcast.com or searching for the Transmissions in your podcast app of choice. You can communicate with the heroes of Iacon by joining us on the Transmissions Discord channel. There you can discuss episodes, talk to the cast, and download the rule set used in the Empire of Rust. Teletran 1, signing off.